Welcome, Mr. Washington.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, I really appreciate your military service. As someone who wore the uniform for a bit of time myself, I really have great respect for what you accomplished in the military. I have to tell you, as we look at your nomination to serve in this capacity, I'm quite concerned about your lack of aviation and aviation safety experience. And this administration has been on watch when we've seen our first nationwide ground stop since 9/11. And this was due to problems with the FAA's very own system. So that's the organization that you've been nominated to lead. We've had multiple near misses in recent months. The FAA's own website states that the FAA's mission is to provide the safest, most efficient aerospace system in the world. So we need someone who can ensure that it fulfills that mission. The most efficient, safest aerospace system in the world. As you know, federal law requires that the FAA administrator, that position that you've been nominated for, must, among other things, have experience in the field directly related to aviation. And I'm looking at your resume. It's right here. And it's really impressive. So I let the world know that the man before this committee is really impressive, an honorable record of service and without blemishes to my knowledge. But it's thin by my reading as it pertains to this direct aviation experience. You spent a lot of time in the U.S. Army. Your career was focused on, per your resume, logistics, HR, training, and operations. You weren't an Army pilot. You didn't work in aviation units. Your very first, roughly 40 years ago, your very first assignment as an enlisted soldier was an air defense artillery unit. I worked with an unmanned aerial vehicle squadron when I was in the U.S. Marine Corps. That certainly didn't qualify me, to my mind, to be FAA administrator. In recent years, you spent a few years as CEO of LA Metro Transport Authority, but they oversaw rail and bus transit. No mention here, at least, of aviation responsibilities. And then for the last roughly 18 months, you've been CEO of Denver International Airport. And I've visited with CEOs of airports, and they vary in expertise and accomplishment and proficiency. But I know that so much of that job involves ensuring that the tenants in that shopping area with multiple purposes in addition to aviation remain happy, and that the customers going in and out are happy. But so 18 months. Maybe there's been an 18-month marination in aviation since you've been CEO of Denver Airport. But I'm going to give you an opportunity, as so often does not happen in these hearings, to explain concisely, if you will, why you are qualified for this job, sir.
Thank you for the question, Senator. I think about a few things. In running ground transportation units, I was not a train operator either, but I was named the best public transportation CEO in this country. I think about traits like leadership. I think about traits like managing. I think about traits like convening people to get things done. I think about what I call adaptive leadership. Aviation right now, we cannot think about doing things the old way. And so I think that a fresh perspective is needed. Obviously, safety is number one. And as I said earlier, leaning and trusting and directing our safety experts is part of the job. But I think that there is my broad transportation knowledge and real-world leadership experience of both military and transportation infrastructure systems served me well.
And I have no doubt, sir, that you are in many respects a plug-and-play leader and manager. This is something that our senior enlisted and much of our officer corps, I think, can correctly and accurately identify as. So I want to sort of validate that for what it's worth. I will say that statutorily, this position requires having experience in the field that is directly related to aviation. Words have meaning, statutes have meaning, and it's unclear at this point. We'll continue to do homework, give you an opportunity maybe after this hearing to elaborate on what you've just said. It's unclear that your background, as I've laid it out, is directly related to aviation. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.